my name is Natasha Perkins. I am a junior in the accounting program, and I'm also getting a minor in Japanese studies.
I'm Stacy Cortez. I'm a junior in business administration.
Hi, I'm Scott Jacobs. I'm a sophomore studying business administration, and I'm here to introduce you to Escritoire. So Escritoire is French for small desk, but we're so much more than a small desk. We are a community workspace where we offer a wide range of amenities, including personal desks that can stand up and come with their own monitors, to a work lounge where you can work among friends and other coworkers to create something special. Along with that, we also offer a wide variety of snacks that are organic, free trade, and vegan. For example, water, everybody's favorite. So some of you may be having some trouble visualizing what would a community workspace look like. Luckily for you, I found a place in town that can closely represent what we're going for, but it lacks the bright windows and open atmosphere we're going for. But it gives the idea if it works. Okay.
It's not that good. You have to.
No. No. You have to
So now it's sort of cringy, but think of it in like comical matter.
Oh, it's a Mac.
Oh yeah. And for our place as a representation of what we're going for, we chose to use the Nook, located on the second floor of the Bunnell building, right above IFP. It's a great place to go, practice your presentations like we have done multiple times, and work together as a team. Luckily for you guys, this video does not work. So we'll be moving on to our SWOT analysis with Stacy.
So once our business plan got rolling, we conducted a SWOT analysis to identify our strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. As our business plan evolves, we will revisit and further analyze our SWOT analysis. So to start off, we will talk about our strengths. So Escritoire is currently the only co-working space in the Fairbanks North Star Borough. We're going to be open 24/7, 365 to accommodate round-the-clock needs for our diverse membership. We'll have the ability to support work schedules, diverse working hours, and the need to connect with various time zones throughout the world to meet deadlines. It's a collaborative open space concept, but we also have conference rooms and another private room if you need to have a private meeting or record a podcast. We will also offer high-speed internet. Although Fairbanks is one of the largest cities in Alaska, many residents and businesses do not have high-speed internet due to limited infrastructure. And also sometimes the subscriber fees are too expensive. So then we'll move on to weaknesses. Our weakness is our limited startup capital, which leads to limited space. So for example, upon opening, we'll be heavily dependent on our memberships, and since we have to build our customer base, we're going to rely on our walk-in customers at first. We'll need at least 9 day pass users, which we'll go over the prices, to meet our minimum expenditures. That number will vary as we build our monthly memberships. Our monthly expenses will be paid mostly by our user fees, as I stated before. So we're going to start out with a cheaper lease and a smaller space so that we can, so that we don't have to worry about our customer base initially. The advantage of a smaller space is less overhead in the beginning. The disadvantage is if we quickly grow, we'll have limited space to expand. Again, with our minimum revenue in the beginning, we have to start with a small space. And if we build a large customer base right away, then we won't be able to grow as quickly. We may have to think about moving. So then some of our opportunities, we're hoping that privatization of state services as the governor and legislator work to reduce the budget. So state agencies who currently pay for their own buildings might close those and then want to lease spaces for their employees to work at instead. Large organizations might also be looking to divest in full-time office space, so again, they'll want a smaller space to work out of. And then hopefully with the F-35s coming to Eielson, there'll be, the interior Alaska will be experiencing growth in small businesses, so they might be also looking for office space. And then our threats, the ongoing recession through the state of Alaska. A lot of people don't have money to rent office space, so they're going to continue working from home offices. And currently there's a surplus of vacant office space in Fairbanks, so people might just want to rent their own private office instead of working in a collaborative workspace. And now Natasha's going to tell you about our feedback.
Okay. So, during our initial drafting process, we got the opportunity to submit our initial plan to some small business leaders in our community. And we got quite a bit of useful feedback for them, particularly in the questions section. A lot of their questions were quite insightful and kind of brought attention to things that we had not really discussed or maybe only briefly discussed, and a lot of those questions actually later on became our survey questions, or at least the base for them. One of the most common recommendations to us was to reach out to other businesses like ours that are found within Alaska and our local community. However, we weren't quite able to establish a full-on conversation with these individuals, but we were able to gather useful information on their websites and whatnot that helped us gauge like what sort of people we might be advertising to, what sort of prices we should have, what sort of like furnishings, and it was good for finding out exactly how we're going to present ourselves. And moving on from that, we have Abigail talking about marketing.
Yes. So, like Natasha mentioned, all of the feedback we received has been extremely helpful in creating this product. Because as we began exploring the potential value of a collaborative co-working space like Escritoire, we originally thought our target market would solely be comprised of people in their 20s and early 30s. These would be people who already possessed a creative flair, but needed the high-speed Wi-Fi and the community that Escritoire can offer. However, our survey results showed that we can and should expand our target market beyond creative spirits. One person responded, "Great idea, and this could be perfect for people with side hustles or a busy mom who wants to crank out some bills or paperwork for 3 hours on a Saturday morning." Another said, "I'm back in Alaska at least monthly, and every so often a situation pops up where it's very helpful to have easy access to an office space." These are people who don't need Escritoire because it offers a creative workspace. They need Escritoire because it offers a cheap alternative. So with these suggestions in hand, we began to reimagine our potential target market. So let's meet some of the folks. So first, here's Shane. He is a young entrepreneur and a graduate of UAF's MBA program. He is 25, and for the past couple years, he's been working on a startup tech company in collaboration with people from California and India. Currently, the biggest hindrance to his end of the company is his spotty Wi-Fi. He lives in a dry cabin off of Goldstream Road and doesn't have the Wi-Fi that he needs to make video calls, let alone work on his product. So next, here's Melanie and her 2 kids. So she is the busy mom one survey taker referred to. And yes, these kiddos are sweet, but they are definitely a handful. On weekends, she just needs a quiet place that she could go and efficiently work. While she could go to the library, she often feels overwhelmed and cluttered by all the books and people surrounding her. So she just wants a clean, bright, relaxed environment to pay bills, meal plan, prepare her schedule, and just recharge for next week. And finally, here's Jeff. He works for an accounting firm in Seattle. However, he has several clients in Fairbanks as well. Quarterly, he needs to meet with these people and get a little work done as well. So our product morphed to include stand-up desks, because that's what business people tend to expect and because who wants to sit after a long work week? We reimagined our podcast and photography studio that we had originally designed as a small lounge space for the 21% of survey takers who said that's how they prefer to work. We also realized that 2 private conference rooms would probably be helpful instead of our original 1, and maybe a smaller one just for private phone calls or small meetings. And the expansion of our target market also led us to reconsider the pricing system. So instead of mainly offering a monthly subscription, we saw the need for a short-term commitment option. So with this in mind, we are proposing a daily rate of $20, that's only $2.50 an hour for an 8-hour workday, a monthly rate of $300, that's only $1.20 an hour for 25 days of 8-hour use, and $3.50 a month for a private desk. And Stacy's going to go over these options a little bit more in a little bit. So location-wise, we received many survey comments that suggested that Escritoire needs to be built in a place that receives a lot of sunlight. Again, sunlight is a huge promotion for a business during Fairbanks winters. However, this real estate does come at a premium, and so we realized that we might need to reconsider our pricing system if we were able to get the ideal location. But with all this in mind, we're right now thinking about locating Escritoire on the west side of Fairbanks to be close to the university, the airport, and near but not too close to many areas with poor Wi-Fi. So finally, to promote to our 3 market segments, remember we have Shane the entrepreneur, Melanie our busy mom, and Jeff the traveling businessman, Escritoire has to establish a community. However, to do so, we have to merge 3 cultures. And this is the tricky part of marketing. So while all of our ads are going to be tailored to people looking for a place to work with reliable, fast Wi-Fi and a social environment, we need to formulate each ad. For example, here are 3 different ads that we would use to connect with our target market. On the top, you'll see ads for entrepreneurs, or people who would use the $3.50 a month option. In the middle are ads for people with side hustles or the moms, and then the bottom one is for people just using the business for a day. Another way to reach these traveling business people would be by directly marketing to the businesses. Using resources from the Chamber of Commerce and Alaska Small Business Development Center, we will find out-of-town or state businesses that will be likely to use our product and then market directly to them. And finally, because Fairbanks is a close-knit community, public relations is key to success. Escritoire is not offering a private workspace. We need applicants who are interested in community. To reach these people, Escritoire would begin marketing through First Fridays and other local events. And since our office is an open floor plan, we are looking to host events promoted on social media in collaboration with businesses like Alaska Coffee Roasters to reach the self-employed, Hoodoo to reach business people, and Gymnastics Inc. to reach busy moms. We would print flyers and hang them in these places or places like them. And finally, we would also promote to the community and establish a name in the community by sponsoring snacks for different sports groups like Fairbanks Youth Soccer Association, Interior Youth Basketball, or the Hockey Club of Fairbanks. And each of these snacks would come with a menu like what you all received with the cookies. So with that, Stacey will talk a little bit more about our menu.
So we have a few different types of memberships. Both day pass memberships are only from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. So at times the doors are always open. And with those, you could use all the co-working space. If you want to use a vacant private desk, it's $50 opposed to the $20 regular day pass. Then we have our basic membership, which is $300 a month. Again, that's just for the co-working space and all the amenities. The premium membership is for a private desk that you have access to 30 days of the month, or however many days in that month, but it's your desk anytime you need it. In both those memberships, you have a key card, so you can get into the building at any time. The amenities, the private conference room is included in the monthly memberships, but someone who's not a member can also use our conference rooms by reserving them if they need to. We also have fax, copier, printer, scanner, basic office supplies, and then again a beverage and snack counter and a self-service kitchenette. So now we'll talk a little bit about our solution.
Thank you. So our solution. We started as a much grander vision, a place that took up a lot more space, but through our research and talking with people, discovered we really need to narrow it down and focus on the market that is interested in us. And basically, that means just giving them the essentials. So there is no need to have a photo studio when we don't have the market to provide a photo studio. provide a podcast studio when there isn't a market to provide a podcast studio. Instead, we're providing a premium location with big bright windows that let in lots of light with fast Wi-Fi where you can get your work done in an efficient